All right. So we are looking at our first narrative. But to better understand our first narrative, which is my favorite chaperone, we are first going to analyze some of the figurative language that is used in the text. Okay. Um, that figurative language activity is going to look like this. You're going to label the types of figurative language in the text: simile, metaphor, hyperbole, personification, alliteration, onomatopoeia, idiom, allusion. Okay. I don't expect for you to fully grasp those just yet, but we're still going to give it a whirl and see how close we are. Okay. Um, you will read the text and then analyze the meaning of the text on the right side, specifically focusing on decoding the figurative language. So, in the first example, then my grandmother died. That was the worst part. She was the head of our family, and without her, everything fell apart. Okay, there's actually two examples of a figurative language in this text. The first one being the head of her family. Does the family actually have a head? Okay, um, it doesn't have a physical head. What they mean by head is the leader of their family. Okay, that could be a hyperbole. It could also be a metaphor relating head to leader. And then also, without her, everything fell apart. Did everything fall apart? Like every part of the world fall apart? That would be an exaggeration. So it would be hyperbole. Okay. That's kind of what we're looking at. Again, if you're not sure what the terms are, look them up, ask questions. You can do that over email. You can do that over Google Hangouts as well. Now, in order to, the type that you're going to put up here is the actual figurative language, and then you're going to analyze. You'll analyze using something called the H response. Okay. Now, we haven't actually addressed this in class yet. We will be able to touch base with it whenever we come back. Looking at an H response, you will do three things. Okay. Answer the question. So the question is to analyze, what does the figurative language mean, right? And why is it saying that? Citing the evidence in this case, the C part of ACE, cite the evidence, is actually going to be using the terms that make up your figurative language. Okay, so if you find the evidence, the figurative language in your text, so in this case, head of our family, or everything fell apart, you will then um, meet this criteria for citing the evidence. Okay, then elaborate your thinking. So that's the explanation of why it's figurative language and what it's saying. So you're going to answer the question with that there's figurative language there. You're going to cite evidence of what the figurative language is, and then you're going to elaborate and tell me what that figurative language means. Now, you can do this in 2 or 3 sentences, okay, but it does need to be a little bit longer of a response. It goes through an example for you. I think what animals do you consider fascinating? The H response, and you don't have to have the letters A, C, E. You can write this all as one passage, all one thing. I think camels are fascinating animals. One reason is that camels can go without water for up to 7 months under extreme conditions. This is significant because humans can last only 3 to 5 days without water. Okay, so here's your H response. You don't have to put the ACE. I'd prefer you not to do that, but to actually write this out as like a small paragraph or a small short response. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Let me know. I will also put this H response as a separate video in your classroom materials.